Yeah, well, as well as anybody that all of these AI companies are seeking as much computing power as possible to train their models, right? Train their models, deploy their models, make sure that their AI machine is moving as quickly as possible. And so that is what they would be looking for here, and could be higher than 20 billion. I want to point that out. 20 billion is sort of the number we'd heard, but discussions are
Well,
still ongoing according to our
who
sources. I think this could end up being a little bit higher even.
Well, help us like understand the web of clients that Meta Platforms uses for this technology right now. Who are they paying already?
Well, what's actually interesting is that why I find this deal somewhat interesting is that most of their data centers are owned and operated by the company. They actually have more than 20 data centers around the world. They're all proprietary. Like Meta
Wow.
actually owns them. They're not doing quite as much partnering necessarily with others. And so that's, I think, why to me, it speaks to how urgent this is, right? That they're not just relying on their own stuff as they have historically, but that they are now out paying money to potential competitors or other tech companies at the very least, right, to expedite this thing for themselves.
It's really about, right? Spend what you have to, do what you have to, but just make sure you've got what you need.
Yeah, and Mark Zuckerberg has talked about this in the sense that Meta's advertising business is just so strong. It is printing money that they feel that they can afford to throw a lot of their profits at the AI problem right now, or at the AI opportunity is maybe how they would describe it. But it helps to have this like engine behind the scenes that's completely unrelated for the most part, right? This advertising business to sort of funnel into the futuristic version of what they want to build. And so that they are in a strong position, similar to like a Google, right? They just make
Hmm.
so much money from the advertising business that they can afford to go after the AI in this way.
I think what's fascinating is we think about Oracle, right? We thinking about it as this software company, right? Infrastructure software and so on and so forth. But
Sure.
they, like other companies, whether it's Cisco Systems, like everybody's pivoting, right? To make sure they can take advantage of this incredible AI build out and spend.
Well, I think for the last several years, when you thought of, cloud computing, you thought of Google and you thought of
Right.
Amazon, right? Those were sort of the main two players. And Oracle has sort of, I don't want to say come out of nowhere, of course, but certainly taken a huge portion of this business and is starting to become a real serious kind of competitor to those other two I just mentioned. You include the OpenAI deal
Hmm.
that they recently signed. And so, I guess that just goes to show, right? Like everyone is skating towards this AI puck. And that's not just people who are developing the LLMs like a Meta or Google, but to your point, also in other areas, right? In chips, in cloud computing, things like that.
So, Kurt, when you think about Meta Platforms and the fact that they have more than 20 data centers around the world that they own and operate themselves, what technology can Oracle provide to them that they can't get for themselves, or is this a way to just kind of offload some of that real estate risk?
Yeah, I'd be speculating a little bit, but I do think it's probably partly speed, right?
Oh,
Like
okay.
you can partner with Oracle much faster than you can develop your own or build your own data centers, right? Or building that computing capacity. Part of it is probably yes, just like hedge your bets just a little bit, right? But we know that Meta is building several other major data centers, including the big one down in Louisiana that's supposedly going to be the size of Manhattan, right? So it's not as if they're pivoting necessarily from doing a lot of data center stuff themselves. But again, I think when you start to from my conversations with people, the reason you go to an Amazon, a Google, and Oracle for cloud is because it's fast, right? You don't have that overhead of trying to build and start all these things yourself, and so you can go to someone and they've already got it set up, and you just kind of plug and play there. So I would guess that speed or urgency is at least part of the equation here.